Ilhan Omar, guys, we have to watch this. Okay, this clip, I don't know if you've seen it, but this clip right here it's Lindell TV, guys. Good old Lindell TV. Right? Dude, this is crazy. And now look at Lindell TV. Look at their reporters. Their reporters are like, they're like go-go dancers. Now, again, not that I have anything wrong with this. I mean, she looks great, right? But this is like not the outfit that like a reporter normally wears. You know what I'm saying? This is the outfit that like a social media personality wears. But right? Because again, this is more about her sexiness than it is about the actual reporting. Again, I'm not going to police women. Wear what you want. But this is an unusual element that they do. It is the Trump outfit. Yes, you may have noticed, okay, whether Lindell TV or even Trump with DHS, he has like 𝗙cie 𝗶𝗏𝗹𝗀. She's young. She's very pretty. They have people, all their spokespeople are like women from Central Casting. Yes, every day they have another DHS employee who's like a young girl being like, hey guys, how you doing, guys? Woo! Trumpy! Oh, Trumpy! Right? They're wearing cocktail dresses, or they are like trying to use their sensuality in a way where they are messaging this thing where it's more about the messenger than it is about the message. But guys, dude, we gotta watch this though, because what's so crazy about this is the inherent racism, okay? And what do I mean by that? Meaning that if there's fraud, okay, right? Eric Adams, fraud in New York. They don't run around like going up to the Congress people being like, why aren't you at the Eric Adams fraud hearing, right? If a business in Washington, D.C. does fraud, they're not going to expect Donald Trump to be at the fucking hearing, okay? But like, because there were some Somalian people that were involved in fraud 8 years ago, they want Ilhan Omar is supposed to go to every hearing or something, because now to them, she's on trial as well. And that's like this weird inherent racism where like, ooh, if Somalian people are committing fraud, you're committing fraud, Ilhan Omar. But watch how she roasts this woman.
Congresswoman, Republicans have repeatedly stated that you committed immigration fraud. Are you at all worried about a formal investigation that could perhaps lead to your deportation?
Well, you're one of those people.
I don't know what that means, but are you at all concerned?
Do I look concerned?
I guess not.
Okay.
All right. What about the Minnesota fraud hearing? You didn't show up for that. Do you think you should have?
Why should I have?
Well, it happened in your state. Don't you want to defend your position?
There were people from my state that were there.
Okay, but why not you? I mean, there's allegations that you're complicit in the fraud. Wouldn't you want to show up?
Why would there be an allegation that I'm complicit? How would I be complicit?
Well, what about Tim Walz?
Do you just ask stupid questions? Is this your thing?
I'm curious to get your thoughts. I mean, there's a lot of controversy around the issue. $9 billion in fraud in the state of Minnesota.
$9 billion?
You don't think so?
Really?
Yeah, and counting. Probably more, honestly. You think that's fake news or what?
That is more than half of the resources that are allocated.
Okay.
So you genuinely, like, your brain has told you that it is possible for half of the resources.
I'm just going off of what
for our public service to like half disappear is what you're saying.
Countless Minnesota state representatives, whistleblowers have come
listen
forward.
To yourself, though.
I'm
like,
trying.
Just think about that for a second.
Maybe if you showed up at the hearing, you would know that whistleblowers are being retaliated against for exposing the fraud. Why is that? Why are they being tracked and traced?
Think about what you're asking. Who is tracing whistleblowers?
Minnesota state officials, Tim Walz, anyone who dares to speak out against the government.
Tim Walz is doing something to whistleblowers?
Yeah, why is Tim Walz stepping down if he's, innocent? Why isn't he running for re-election?
Because he's had 8 years to serve as our great governor.
He was going to be vice president of the United States if 𝗙𝗵𝗋
Yes,
won.
and he would have been an excellent vice president.
now he's stepping
much
down.
better than the person we have right now.
And now he's stepping down as governor. Any comment on that? You don't think he's maybe complicit?
He is focusing on trying to make sure our state remains great. All right, have a nice day.
Thank you. You too.
Please read.
Dude, oh my God. Like, dude, see, what's crazy about this is in 2 minutes, Ilhan Omar just like shafted that woman and just rattled her cage and showed the entire world like how incredibly dumb she is. Like, just because you know what's so funny about it is how the nature of the MAGA scenario, okay, is everything all of their facts are like so outrageous, but they never stop to think, okay? They never stop to think about like the connections, right? Like, for example, you have them out there talking about immigration. In their beginning of their immigration talk, it was 2 million. Then it went to 5 million. Then it went to 10. Then Trump said 15. Then it was 20. Then it was 25. Then at some point, they're saying there's 40 million undocumented immigrants in America, which would literally be like more than 1 in 10. Okay? So, but you could go to all of their like white towns in middle America where there's not a goddamn undocumented person to be found. And there's no way that 1 in 10 people in this country are undocumented. Like, it is so obvious that they run around talking about numbers that are just not possible. Okay? So that is the basis of like all of their shit.
What about the Minnesota fraud hearing? You didn't show up for that. Do you think you should have?
This part, why would Ilhan Omar go to the Minnesota fraud hearing? She's a U.S. congressional representative. Is she a lawyer on this case? Is she right? I mean, she has no reason to be there. But why she's asking this question is because they've insinuated that she's involved somehow. So of course you have to, right? Oh, wait, you're the person that we're trying to tie this to. So why weren't you at the hearing?
Should I have? Well, it happened in your state. Don't you want to defend your position?
Like, defend what position? Like, this is so redonkulous, guys. I mean, isn't it insane? It is like so, the basis of the questions are so batshit. Like, defend why? What would she have to defend? Every time there's a fraud case, the state representatives have to go defend their state. Dude, isn't it funny? When there was a power outage in Texas, Ted Cruz went on vacation. He didn't even stay in the state. But if you are a minority representative, like, you know, Lindell TV thinks you need to be at every hearing to defend yourself. But here's where it gets great.
There were people from my state that were there.
Okay, but why not you? I mean, there's allegations that you're complicit in the fraud. Wouldn't you want to show up
Why
to
would
defend
there be an allegation that I'm complicit? How would I be complicit?
Well, what about Tim Walz?
Yeah, do you see that? How would I be complicit? Why would there be an allegation that I'm complicit? And then she moves on to Tim Walz, dude. Right? Tim Walz, with the whistleblowers. And like, what did Tim Walz do to the whistleblowers? No answer. And then my favorite thing is the part about the money, because there's like $18 billion allocated for all of their resources. And like, really? You think this fraud was like half of all of our resources? Like, really? That's the thing that you believe, that all of the resources allocated for all of this spending, half of it has just gone to a couple of daycare centers? Like, they are so off the rocker. They are so out of it, guys.
Ask stupid questions? Is this your thing?
I'm curious to get your thoughts. I mean, there's a lot
Dude, do you just ask stupid questions? Is this your thing? Oh my God, dude. Oh, that's beautiful. They do not make anything believable. It is just like off the rocker. Okay? It is. They are so off their rocker.
controversy around the issue. $9 billion in fraud in the state of Minnesota.
$9 billion.
You don't think so?
Really?
Yeah, and counting. Probably more, honestly. You think that's fake news or what?
That is more than half of the resources that are allocated.
Okay.
So you genuinely, like, your brain has told you that it is possible for half of the resources.
I'm just going off of what
for our public service to, like, half disappear, is what you're saying.
Countless Minnesota state representatives, whistleblowers have come
listen
forward.
to yourself, though.
I'm
Like,
trying.
just think about that for a second.
Maybe if you showed up at the hearing, you would know that
just think
whistleblowers
about
are
that
being
for a second.
retaliated against for exposing the fraud. Why is that? Why are they being
But
tracked and
just
traced?
think about what you're asking. Who is tracing?
Dude. Dude, yeah. Like, just think about it. But, dude, she can't because she doesn't think. She just has a bunch of made up shit, but she's never stopped to consider if the made up shit is real, right? Like, this is the thing I encounter, guys, over and over and over and over again. Like, for example, you know where I hit this type of, like, mental block every single day? Is somebody will come in and say, why didn't the Democrats release the Epstein files in 2022? And it's like, think about that. Why didn't they? Oh, yeah, they were prosecuting Ghislaine Maxwell. Then Ghislaine went on appeal, so everything was legally bound. Okay, they couldn't release anything. It was under wraps. It's against the law to release anything. And then only after Pam Bondi's little directive closing the case could we talk about releasing things. But, like, dude, it takes like a 1 minute Google search to find that answer. I mean, you think about it, but they're like, aha, right? Aha. But, like, dude, it's like this woman gets in her go-go outfit and goes to ask Ilhan Omar a bunch of questions, but this woman has never sat and thought about the validity of the questions they're even asking. It's like literally, right? Oh, many state officials have said whistleblowers, but like, dude, there's 2 state officials that have talked about whistleblowers and this shit, and they are Lisa DeMuth and Christy Robbins, and they are both Republican women running for governor who also like stymied Tim Walz's fraud prevention bill. So yes, the 2 women who prevented Tim Walz's fraud prevention bill from going to vote and who are also running for governor are now telling us about the whistleblowers. Reliable sources. Okay. All right, we got it. They never stop to consider if their claim is even possible, okay? And I think, guys, I think some of this may be rooted in the deep Christianity that they don't question the specifics of things, right? Like when they think about Noah's Ark, they don't question what it would look like with like 100 million species of like things climbing into a boat. Like they never think to like, does that sound realistic? That like 100 million and there's 2 of each, so there's 200 million things climbed into one boat? Like, really? You think that sounds like, you know, even remotely believable? Like, you know? I mean, come on. It is, they don't question. They don't like do even a modicum of like fucking, you know, analysis. It's just any wild claim that gets them juiced. Oh, my nuts are swelling. You know, anything that tickles the prostate, they're like, let's go, right? Dude, sheeple boss. Oh my God. You know, I will say though, you know, she looks good. All right, we're gonna give her that. The reporter looks great, dude. If I was going to a disco, I would ask her to join me. All right, I'd be like, let's go to the disco. Just please don't talk to me, dude. Just don't talk to me. All right, that's all. It's my only request.